Today I will show you the rotary head controller's new mode is continue after a quick overview of the controller, like quick overview of existing modes, layout and stepper house, value input of negatives, decimals and presettings and a clear, and new mode continue with next and limit sensor mounting. This is my setup: rotary table, stepper house and the heatsink for the rotary head controller. Two sensors with switches. This is the limit switch and the next switch. This is my rotary head controller. This is a quick overview from the existing modes, layout and stepper house. Now we will look at the layout. This is the front with the modes explanation, the different buttons, display and explanation of the buttons. The navigation switch, installation guide and serial number, stepper connection, power switch and power supply, micro stepping table and micro stepping dip switches, and the sensor switch inputs, and overview of the modes as a schematic. Now let's install the rotary head controller with magnets in the bottom, locked on the heatsink, the stepper wires connecting the power supply input, the next sensor, and the limit sensor. And just switch it on. And that's all. The controller has 6 modes. The first mode is rotate, to scroll freely to an angle with the plus and the minus. And we put the arrow at the 0 point. The second mode is go to. We can enter a value with the navigation plus and minus and select the value for the first digit, press OK for the second digit and press next to accept the value. To take a negative value, we press next first, then 12 degrees, press OK for the next digit, enter next to rotate. And when we had 21 and it should be 12 degrees, we want to clear this value by pressing next for a long time. And now we can enter 12 degrees. The third mode is full, where we have to give in the number of positions for a full 360 degree angle. And we enter 3 positions. Press next to accept. With the sensors, we drill the first hole and go over here for the next and press the next button, and it will return rotate at 120 degrees. Drill the next hole, go back, again enter next. The sensors prevent you from drilling into your machine. And press next to return to the start position. This function can be done by auto rotate as well. And to enter the auto rotate function, we switch it off, hold next, and switch on. Enter 3 positions. Here, press next to accept. Now we start drilling the first position, and now it will rotate by itself 120 degrees. Drill the next position, and it will rotate by itself, and so on. The fourth mode is angle. We have to give in the number of positions, let's say 3 positions. We press next to accept the value over a total degrees of 60 degrees. And press next to accept the value. Auto rotate was selected previously, so we start drilling the holes, and it will rotate by itself 20 degrees to the next hole. And it will rotate, I will drill the second hole, and it will rotate to the last position. Drill the last hole, and the beeps will tell that it is finished. Fifth mode is slot. And we have to enter the feed rate, this is the time between stepper pulses, let's say 320. And accept the value by pressing next. Now we have to enter the degrees, the angle, and let's say that's 32 degrees. And accept by pressing next. Now the machine is ready, and it asks you to press next to start milling the slot. Now it has milled the first depth, and we want to return to the start position for a second depth. So we accept OK to return, and we press next. And it gives in the values and asks you to drill a little bit deeper, and press next to mill the slot the second time. And the function is finished. The sixth and last mode is continuous, and this is meant for gluing and welding purposes, and is activated by the sensors. So we have to give in a feed rate, let's say 320. It's a little bit fast, but for demo purposes. And we accept the value by pressing next. Now it is set, and now we can mount this switch to the glue gun or to the welding pistol, and when we press the switch it will rotate, and if you want to go back you just activate the other sensor, and now you can rotate both ways. To select the auto next function, we have to use the next button and switch to on. Auto next is activated. The rotary head controller uses presettings to function. One of the presettings is the intro splash screen. Now we will switch the intro screen midlife crisis rotary control off by pressing OK and switched on. Release OK. We see a 0, and accept the value 0 by pressing next. Preset, and now we switch off. Now we switch on again, and now the midlife crisis rotary control message intro is disappeared. To determine the gear ratio, we select the minus and switch on, release minus, and now rotate with the navigation switch until it is back at this position. And it is approximately this gear ratio. A little bit further when we go with plus, it is this ratio, and we can use -2 to achieve the right value. Another value that is needed in the presettings is the max speed. To determine the max speed, I select the plus and switch to on. And now with the potmeter for modes, we turn to the speed you desire, a little bit slower. That's the speed I want. I select OK and remember the value. You can find more detailed info and frequently asked questions in my previous videos. Next time I will show you my mid-track universal involute gear gauge for measuring gears and grinding rack gear cutting tools. See you next time.